Welcome back, everyone, and let's get back straight to the conversation around INEC elections guidelines as released by the Commission yesterday. So a lot of gray areas, anticipation before that document was released. Now that it has been released, so it gets us talking, and we're looking at the gray areas and the areas of concern from the political parties' point of view. Let's get back to my panel. ROTIMI OYEKANMI, CPS to the INEC chairman, and Ahmed Buhari, the presidential candidate of SNP, and also Akin Osuntokun, spokesperson of the PDP Presidential Campaign Council. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming on tonight. Rotimi, you are right on the spot tonight, perhaps on the hot seat. Let me begin with the conversation around simultaneous voting and accreditation. Politicians have said they do not want. And it does look like INEC is saying we're not changing that. Since 2016, you retained it. You changed your laws, but they want you to go back to 2015.
Thank you, Shehu, for having me. First of all, I want to say that all the measures that INEC has put in place to improve the electoral process have been subjected to consultation with all stakeholders, especially the political parties. There is nothing we have introduced that we have not sought their opinion, and we have always taken their views very seriously. And if Nigerians notice any improvement in the electoral system now, it is because of the active participation of all our stakeholders. Now, simultaneous accreditation and voting, a little bit of history. This was first introduced during the Bayelsa governorship election in January 2016. And since then, we have conducted over 190 different types of elections. Rerun elections, by-election, governorship elections. And there has been no problem. In fact, some of the political parties that are purported to be complaining were part of those elections. We didn't hear any complaint. And why did we adopt that procedure in January 2016 governorship election in Bayelsa State? Arising from the 2015 general elections, there was stock taking, and we had local and international observers and stakeholders suggesting to us that from what they discovered, we should abolish the separate accreditation and voting. Why? Because it was discovered that over 2 million voters did not return to vote after accreditation. Well, what was discovered was that some felt that they had already voted because the procedure looked similar, while others that returned to vote found a lot of people in the crowd at the polling unit, and of course, they had to go back. And right now, we have even more registered voters. As at the last count, we have over 84 million voters who are going to present themselves. Now we have 91 political parties. And we can just imagine what will happen if in the process of election, we ask 84 million people, presumably if they turn up, to accredit within this time frame of 8 a.m. and 2 p.m., and then come back and vote. And then the number of political parties, I think it will be cumbersome. So we need to look at the possibility and the propriety of such a process. So all these factors were considered. And in taking that decision, we involved the political parties in the discussion. First, before the meeting the last meeting we had, we sent the soft copies of the document 10 days before that meeting to all political parties. We also consulted other stakeholders like the civil society organizations and the media. And we didn't have any issue. And on the day of the meeting with political parties, we also made hard copies available to them. And I think that, in all honesty, we didn't take that decision without due regard or respect to the views of all stakeholders.
Okay, let me get the view of Mr. Osuntokun here. The PDP has raised objection to the issues of the transmission of results, electronic transmission of results, the issues of how they want INEC to retain some of the things that were done in 2015. From what you're looking, does it look like INEC is ready?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
So the question is that
I couldn't get what you...
Your party has raised objection, for example, on the issues of electronic transmission of result, how the result has been announced, the process that has been used in the past. They're asking a whole lot of questions as regard the issues of even the permanent voter card. With all of these objections that your party has raised, does it look like INEC is ready for this election?
Well, largely, I mean, like I iterated before, I think in general, I mean, the INEC seems to be doing well. I mean, generally on the set course. The point, of course, is that the purpose of them releasing the guidelines on those interactions that you have with stakeholders is to perfect, you know, whatever, to perfect. We are all supposed to be having the same interest, you know, and that is fair, free, fair, and credible election. So ordinarily, there shouldn't be dispute, you know, about administrative positions that INEC has taken. The problem, again, INEC operates within the law that is given to conduct, its activities. So largely, but the point I wanted to make, and I will reiterate, is that what this gentleman said before, that we are chasing shadows. You see, it's only in Nigeria that seeking best standards will anybody describe that as chasing shadows. Yesterday or thereabout, the chief judge they had to, you know, send a case that was before them on the complaint of the president of the Nigeria Bar Association that they no longer have confidence in that judge. The chief judge had to reassign the case. You are aware of the case in the US, where the Attorney General recused himself from his position, from the authority of his position, when a situation of conflict of interest arises. Right. So I don't know the logic that the gentleman is standing upon. And if that were to be the case, the lady and the INEC couldn't have made any effort to defend what they want to say. Okay. Look, when we say that, it's not only those of us who are complaining. It's also for the sake of the other person.
Okay. Let me, because let me allow because of our time. Sorry, because of our time, Mr. Rotimi OYEKANMI, tell us, when is INEC giving the details of the PVC that have so far been collected?
We've already done that. The PVCs have been devolved. The collection of the PVC has been devolved to the 8,809 registration areas that we have across the country. It will be from 16th to 21st of this month. People will have the opportunity to go to those registration areas to collect their PVCs. And we call on Nigerians to please take advantage of this window of 1 week.
No, the question is, Mr. OYEKANMI, the question is, how many PVCs so far? We know the number of registered voters. How many PVCs so far have been collected?
You know, if I give you a figure now, the figure is bound to change, because we are going to stop the collection of PVCs a week before the general elections. Okay. It is only after that that we can give the accurate figure of all PVCs collected.
Let's close the program now. Mr. Buhari, your final word. Mr. Buhari, you have about 20 seconds. Your final word, please, Mr. Buhari. Mr. Buhari, let's get your final word, Mr. Buhari. Your final word before we go. All right. He seems to be having some technical issues. Well, that's the program today, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm sure Kimbale. Bye-bye.